Well, happy Saturday, everybody. I hope everyone had a good one out there today. It was definitely a hot one, however. I know some of us, obviously, it's a weekend. Some of us are going to go outside, and I hope everybody was just being careful. Now, taking a look at our live IMAX 12, we did have a few just hit or miss showers and storms popping up. We got a few more farther out to our northwest right now going on. You can see in parts of Yazoo County out into the Delta, and especially a few lightning strikes. And this one that's on that western side of Yazoo and transitioning out right now. And a little bit heavier of a downpour, which is nice, but for the majority of us, we haven't seen too much rain. But another area where we saw a little bit better of coverage was farther down to our south and southeast as well, especially for our Pine Belt communities. And you can see this one's going along that 59 corridor, getting closer to that coastline as well. Here in the metro, we had a tiny little one here and there pop up, but overall just not too much of a heavy downpour. So it was definitely a hot and humid day. Temperatures right now still warm. They're going to start dropping down fairly soon. It's feeling like 106, so we did have that heat advisory in effect until about 8 p.m. this evening for all of our counties. Now, once we get to the overnight, cloud coverage will start to diminish a little bit, and we'll see mostly clear conditions by your Sunday morning with temperatures starting off in the mid-70s. So it'll be a nice commute as you're heading out to church or anything in the early morning hours. Then by the afternoon, it's going to be hot again. Mid to upper 90s. Feels like temperatures in the triple digits and very low chance of rain, fairly similar to what we saw today. So heat advisories have been extended going into tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m. and wrapping up by 8 p.m. on your Sunday, all because of those feels like temperatures, well, between that 105 to 110 degree margin. Now, like I said, there is going to be the possibility of a few isolated showers popping up. We'll start off dry throughout the whole entire morning, and we'll be all right. But by the time we get to, let's say, 1 o'clock, we should see a few isolated ones starting to pop up. These will keep affecting us into the early evening hours. Then by the time we get to around the nighttime hours, we'll still have a few. It's definitely farther down to our south and southeast. But once we get to the overnight, we'll dry out again. Monday morning, going to be another dry start with just some partly cloudy skies. So rain chances over the next few days staying lower. We got a 20% chance for tomorrow, only a 10% chance for your Monday and Tuesday. But by the time we get to your Thursday, that's where we're actually going to see rain chances start to ramp up. And that's because a frontal system's finally going to get a little bit closer to us. So we just have to get through our Sunday in the midweek. It's going to be very hot and humid with forecasted highs in the upper 90s. Even on Tuesday, we have a high temperature of possibly getting up to around 99 degrees. So heat advisories haven't been extended going into next work week yet, but most likely this is definitely going to happen just because, well, we got temperatures in the upper 90s. We got to account, of course, the dew points being in the 70s, so it feels like temperatures definitely going to get into those triple digit values. So just make sure you're being careful as we start off your Monday going into your Wednesday. Then by the time we get to the end of the week, we should start to see a little bit better conditions. Now, take a look at our tropical satellite. This is Hurricane Aaron right now. You can see very tight core, getting even tighter right now. So really strong winds associated with this, and it's our first hurricane of the season, and it's funny. It's our first hurricane, and it's also a major hurricane, a Category 5. Winds of 160 miles per hour, a center pressure of 915 millibars, and you can see some of the islands there, like San Juan and Leeward Islands. They're just getting bounded by some of these outer bands coming off of this stronger hurricane. So we're going to track this system out as we keep on going throughout. Let's say by the time we get to your Sunday night into your Monday morning, it's going to start to curve its way, moving out to the north a little bit more, and it'll get downgraded by one category. It looks like that's what the National Hurricane Center is expecting, but still, a Category 4 is a major hurricane regardless. Then as we keep on progressing going throughout the week, you can see it's going to keep on curving, then shooting its way out to the northeast. So luckily, we're not going to see a direct impact when it comes to the East Coast or anywhere in the United States. That's a really good thing. However, when it comes to our East Coast friends, they're definitely going to still see some effects from this, like some bigger waves headed into their area, and they could see some stronger rip currents as well. So if you got any family or friends out there along the East Coast, or if you were thinking of traveling, that's definitely something to keep in mind. There are going to be some stronger rip currents right off the East Coast because of this hurricane system. So recapping your 8-day forecast, when it comes to our Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, lower rain chances, hot and humid in the afternoon. Heat advisory is most likely going to go throughout the midweek, so just make sure to be careful if you're going to be outdoors for a long period of time. By the time, let's say, we get to your Thursday, going to the end of the week, into the next weekend, we're finally going to see rain chances pick up, and temperatures will finally fall down closer to our average of this time of the year. So I hope everybody has a good rest of their Saturday night.